What's up, guys? WhatXBoy, and I have a box opening, actual multiple box openings, but I'm just gonna do one video because these boxes are kind of small. It's the Golden Buddy pack. Oh, hopefully I get an SP. So yeah, I'm gonna just pause the video and open the seal and maybe cut off the top so it's just easier to work with my hands with it. But yeah, I will be right back, and it'll only be a second for you. So yeah. Alright, here it is. Um, let's start with the dented box. I'll just move it back real quick. Put that there. Ooh, go backs. Alright, nothing right. So, first pack. And please don't let me get SP or Bloody Rape during Dow. It'd be horrible. Alright, got the Sub-Zero Dragon Knight. The new Shinsengumi, which is pretty decent. Open up your OTKs. The new size 1 Skull Warrior. He's alright. Pretty high defense. Alright, Eagle. Pretty cool. Ace. Legend World, Widen Circle gets their own Thousand Rapier Dragon, pretty much. Pretty cool. Nice. This dude's super good. 727. Oh, if you don't know, these packs have 6 cards in a pack. The last one in the pack is usually the more rare one, I guess you could say. It's the one that's probably going to be more valuable in the pack. But yeah, back to the card. The 727, size 3, for Darkness Dragon World. And you pay 2 gauge. Whenever this card enters the field, destroy a monster on your opponent's field, which is pretty good. And then you deal the damage to your opponent equal to the size of the monster that you destroyed. So super good side in against Seeger and other size 3 people and other stuff. Yeah, cool. Alright, next pack. Dragon Knight Penetrate dude, size 1, pretty decent. Yeah. Spectral Strike guy, 8,000 attack with Spectral Strike, deals 2 damage instead of 1 damage. You pay 1 gauge. He's pretty good. I like him. This ninja is gonna be seeing a lot of play. You can pretty much refill your lethal formation with this guy. Really good. Size 1 Wild Dragon with free cost and 3 crit. Pretty good. I'm definitely going to run him in my Wild Dragon deck. This effing card replaced Amigo. And if you don't know what Amigo is, go to the Buddy Fight Wiki and look up Dungeon World Amigo. He was a really good card, and pretty much the US didn't get him. We got this guy, which originally came out as a Japanese promo. But we didn't get him because of I guess he looked too racist. He's just like a little Mexican chibi guy, holding like tacos, and like he has a hat on and stuff like that. And like he's actually really good. I would have liked to use him in my deck, in my Dungeon World deck, but we got this crap. But yeah, next, 72 Pillars, size 1, 3 crit. Actually really good for whenever they do Saturday Night Devil Fever, because they don't really have that many 3 crit size 1s. Actually, I think they only have like 1, if that. But yeah, helps with more OTKs. So yeah, next pack. Sorry I'm talking too much. If I am, I apologize. Next is Purgatory Support. It's decent. It's a 2/2/2. When he's destroyed by a card effect, you gain a life. And hold on a sec. Alright, sorry about that, guys. My dog needed to go out. Alright. Next, Dragon World is 613. Decent stats, size 1. Super good, free cost. Way better than Medusa, and it's a dual dragon, and I love dual dragons. If you guys know my other videos, 623, it's really good stats. With penetrate. Next, Skill Warrior. This guy's pretty good. He's a hero for Legend World. He's a 4/1/2. Whenever he link attacks with another hero, hero could be your weapon with the hero attribute. You burn your opponent. So it's a I forget the Dungeon World has the same kind of card. I forget the name. Nice. This guy's actually really good. Purgatory Knight. He's almost like her or it, whatever. This one, whenever it's destroyed, you gain a life. This one, whenever it's destroyed, you draw a card. And I actually like that one better because drawing cards are super good. Next pack. This guy's really weird. He has 0 attack, 2 crit, and 6 defense. The only reason I could see him seeing play is if you build a really defensive armor dragon build and he's your buddy, and you use the Sunfist item that whenever you link attack with your buddy monster, it gains infinity power. So, yeah, I don't know. That's just what I thought of. This guy's really good just because he's a body. 6/2/6. Whenever he enters the field, you mill the top 2 cards of your deck for Darkness Dragon World. He's a really good deep monster. I'll definitely be seeing play with him. This guy's super good too. Danger World 3/2/3. Size 1. Whenever he has an act ability, you can pay a gauge and put him into monster's soul on the field. It doesn't give them Soul Guard, but if the card has Soul Guard, then obviously put him into the soul. Like Demon Godo Arc. Super good. Next is a wizard that isn't really good. Just gains a crit whenever you play a spell. This guy's pretty decent once we see more Olympus in Legend World. He's a 4/2/3. Pay a gauge whenever he enters the field. Search your deck for an Olympus monster and put it in your hand. Pretty decent. This guy is meh. I don't really know what to think of him because his cost is really big. And he doesn't have like double attack or anything. He's a size 3 monster, an 8/0/8. But you pay 3 gauge and put a monster on your field into the drop zone. He is an Armor Knight, so you can play him in the Armor Knights and use the Monster Reborn and bring back the monster you just killed off, but whatever. And his skill is when this card attacks for that battle, this card gains critical equal to the sum of the critical of your weapon and your opponent's weapon. So, I mean, it's pretty decent, but, I mean, some decks don't even really run weapons, and then what if your opponent doesn't even get their weapon out and whatnot? Yeah, I don't really see him doing much. This guy's pretty decent. He's an Armor Dragon for Dragon World. 5/4/3, call cost, you just pay a life, which is pretty easy for Dragon World. Whenever that, this guy, Ancient World, he's pretty decent in a Seeger deck. You basically ditch this whenever you have Seeger out, and you pay a gauge, and he gains Penetrate for the turn. Yeah. This guy is actually a really good size 3 for Pillars. He's a 5/2/5. You pay 3 gauge. Whenever this card enters, you draw 2 cards. This card cannot be returned to hand from the field. So, he's pretty good at drawing cards. Like, Magic World doesn't do that enough. Ancient World, your new size 3 guy. They kind of nerfed him from the abilities that we first saw. But he's a 7/2/7, 3 gauge. Put the top 2 cards of your deck into its soul. If this card has no soul, this card gets +2 attack and defense and +1 crit. Double attack and soul guard, and then lifelink 5. He's pretty decent. Maybe like a backup for Seeger or something like that. He'd be a lot better if he was a Dragon Lord and a Wild Dragon, but he's only a Dragon Lord. Next, Death Ruler. This guy is actually very interesting. Size 1, 3/2. Or 3/2/1. Sorry. When an attack of this card on your field, is nullified, put a card from your opponent's gauge into his or her drop zone. So he's very control-y, like how Dragon World likes, or Darkness Dragon World likes to be played. And he's death, and death can do lots of awkward, cool plays like that. This card is another Ancient World card. You ditch him from your hand, and your monster gains you pay a gauge and ditch him from your hand, and your size 3 monster gains plus 5,000 power. And it's a counter, so like if you're facing something even bigger than Seeger or something like that, or if you're a Seeger versus Seeger, Seeger doesn't have too much. I forget if Seeger has counterattack or not. I forget. But I mean, you can pump him up there, but it's a counter speed, so yeah, pretty decent. Size 0 for Dragon World, super good. The Boomerang Dragon, we finally got him. 2/1/2. Whenever he attacks at the end of that battle, he goes back to your hand. Pretty good. But if you have low hand, of course, your opponent knows that one of the cards in your hand is that, so there's always that to think about. That we know. This one is kind of decent. It's a 1/2/3. Your opponent cannot draw cards by card effects. He is a decent side card for Magic World. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever that one. This one, Dungeon World, specifically Dungeon Enemy, Dungeon Lord. He's at 8/3/7. Pay 2 gauge, put the top card of your deck into the card's soul. Whenever this card enters the field, you may choose to 1 destroy attribute or Demon Lord attribute from your drop zone and put it into your hand. He has Soul Guard and Lifelink 2. So he'd be pretty good whenever Dungeon World gets more Dungeon Enemy and Dungeon Lord or Demon Lord support. Next, super good. I was hoping to get this card. It's another Legend World card. It was from the super deck that Japan got. He's a counter speed that you can call this card from your hand. He's a 3/1/3. Super good. Alright. Next. This video might be a little long just because I wanted to go over some cards with you guys that would be seen play. So this card is actually really good. I'll definitely be maining this card just to be more control-y with my death deck. He's a size 1, 4/1/3. His effect is whenever he enters the field, you can move one of your opponent's size 2 or less to the middle of their field, so you can get off your other size 1 or 2's like attack around your opponent's center monster. Really good whenever you're playing Dragon Worlds, anything that have to have like an open center to block. Really good. I like him. Whenever that one. This guy's really good. I'll definitely be maining him too. He's a Dungeon World size 1, 3/2/1. Whenever this card link attacks with another adventurer, destroy a spell on your opponent's field. Super good with all the set spells that are running around now. Yeah. Skull Warrior, size 2, 4/2/3. Whenever this card enters the field, you can search your deck for a monster and put it in the drop zone. Pretty good for setting up your OTKs. I'm not sure if I'm going to run him though yet, because Hades Fall kind of does the same thing he does, plus it does 2 damage. But he is a body on the field, so I don't know. I might. If he was a size 1, it'd be a lot better. Come on. Whatever that one. Yeah, super good. 1 gauge demon. He's so good. Size 1, 3/2/1. He's a dungeon enemy. Whenever this card deals damage to your opponent, the top card of your deck and put it into the gauge. He's super good. Alright, last pack. Hopefully a buddy rare. Maybe. Please. Whatever that one, whatever that one. That one. Nothing really to say here. He's an 8/3/1, size 2 for Katana World. He's a ninja. Pay 1 gauge. Ooh, this guy's really good. Size 0 for Legend World. He's Asgard and Hero. 3/1/1. You can play him, and while he's on your field, all cards that you cast with Great Spell in the card name cannot be nullified. Super good. Also, whenever you ditch this card from your hand, you can get a gauge and draw a card. Super good. This card is very good. Alright, so now that I think we've hit pretty much every card, I'm probably just gonna like zoom through these. Maybe hopefully get a buddy rare on film. Yeah. That one. Good. This guy we didn't see. He's an Armor Dragon, size 2, 6/5, pay 1 gauge. If you have 5 or more Armor Dragons in the drop zone, this card gets double attack. So he's a 6/5 with double attack, and he's a size 2 for Dragon World. Pretty good. I could definitely see him being played. Oh, another one. Yay. Yeah, I really like the Asgard attribute, especially with like all the pluses that you can just get off with ditching cards, and you're not really minusing yourself when you're ditching the cards, especially when they have effects. So yeah, I really like Asgard. They have some pretty good control now, especially with the support that they got from this. And I really like the death stuff that we got in this. Speaking of death. Also the dual dragon support that we got in this. Oh my gosh, the dual dragon support is like amazing. Also, if you're just like listening to this, let's talk about some like meta stuff. What do you guys think that will be like the next like tier 1 or S tier in Buddy Fight? We didn't get this guy yet. Pay 2 gauge, put the top card in your deck, and this card's soul has move and soul guard. It's size 3, it's a 6/3/6, and it's a Sky Blue Dragon Crystal Saber. Or he's not a Blue Sky Knight, so I don't know. I thought he was. He isn't. Yeah, if you guys are listening to this and like at work or something like that instead of just watching it, that's cool too. The Drum Bunker Dual Wield, size 3. He's a 12/4/7. Call cost, pay 3 gauge, and you have to put it on top of a drum monster. He has Penetrate and Soul Guard. He's pretty good if you focus just around drum. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, if you're just listening to this, that's pretty cool. Meta talk. I really am liking Dungeon World still, just because with this little support that they got, it's still super good. But Purgatory Knights, I don't really see them doing a lot. I do see them topping, definitely, with how many attacks that they can get, and the strong spells that they have, just because of the Darkness Dragon World. But I don't see them consistently topping, just because the multiple attacks can be stopped so easily with other counter spells and stuff like that. And other worlds can control the field so much better. But yeah. Yeah, we haven't seen this guy. He's Iceblade Astrolux. He's a 10/4/10 size 3 for Legend World, and he's Asgard. He's Asgard deity, light, and water attribute. You call cost to pay 4 gauge, or when this card is discarded from hand, you can pay 2 gauge, and you can bring him out without paying the call cost. It's pretty good. But yeah, I don't really see a lot of Dragon Purgatory Knights topping, just because link attacks right now are super good, especially because Magic World and Katana World can nullify spells, so they will definitely do like OTKs, like link attack with everything, and your opponent can lay down a shield, and then they just nullify that shield and deal all that damage to you in one turn, which is insane. So I really see decks like that topping, that don't really have to go for that like long game, or like wait until they have to get their finishing move or their impact. They can just kind of set up their field and just try and like get that like counter spell. And things that can do that are obviously Katana World with their pay 2 life nullify a spell, and then also Magic World, because they have the this art support now, and their set spell where you can discard an art and nullify a spell. So they can just discard an art card and nullify their shield, which is really good. If Dragon World gets a counter nullify spell, I'm gonna be flipping tables because they get way too much support. And I'm sorry, I probably always say that, but it's true. Alright, so no SPs, but, or no Buddy Rares, but pretty good pulls, at least for me, the pulls that I wanted. But thank you guys for watching. If you were listening to this, thank you for listening. But yeah, next I will definitely do an update with my Darkness Dragon World deck, and then I'll also probably be doing my Asgard deck. So thank you guys for watching. Peace.